Welcome. Unit 6 True Height 6th Standard Part 1. As per 2024-2025 Karnataka State Board Syllabus English First Language Part 1. Pre-reading task. Listening and speaking. Your teacher will narrate an incident. Listen carefully. This is about the athlete, how he wins and how he get training for himself and how he work hard and get success. About the athlete, this lesson is Nagaraje Gowda and Jayamma are farmers. They live in Hosanagara, an obscure village in South Karnataka. On the midnight of September 3rd, 2012 Monday, they were waiting for a phone call from small 5,000 miles away. The call came. Their son's voice said, Amma. Amma means mother. I have won silver. Their joy knew no bounds. They were very happy because their son from a small village won the silver medal on that day. H.N. Girisha had won the silver medal in Olympics in London earlier that night. The phone came from London to that village. That's why they are very happy. An 80,000 capacity crowd, some 2,000 Indians among them, had cheered him lustily. The 24-year-old man had cleared a height of 1.74 meters using the scissors techniques in men's high jump event. This is called the scissor technique. The jumping like this. This technique is called scissor technique. Girish was born with an impairment in his leg. He was physically disabled, not a normal child he was born, but even though he got his success by his mind power or his Ichha Shakti, what we call, if you make your mind to win, you can win. See, children, if you are, we all of us are blessed with all the organs. So you should achieve more than this. You should make up your mind to work hard and get success. You should do something when you live on this earth. Simply living and dying is of no use. In this story, 17-year-old boy clears the bar that is set at 17 feet 6.5 inches and gets the first place. But true height refers to the another kind of height, his whole personality. True height means beyond his incapabilities, he reached the above that his disabilities he forgot and he won the situation and he got a success. 1. His palms were sweating. A glass of ice water quenched his thirst but hardly cooled his intensity. Now he is ready to jump the pole vault and his hands are sweating. Little bit tension is there. It should be there. It will be there when you go for a competition. The turf he sat on was as hot as the competition he faced today at a National Junior Olympics. The bar was set at 17 feet, that was 3 inches higher than his personal best. Michael Stone confronted the most challenging day of his pole vaulting career because it was confronted him because of the 3 inches increased height for that. See here in this the normal height is 16 here. They set it to 17 and half something it is. The stand was still filled with about 20,000 people, even though the final race had ended an hour earlier. The pole vault is truly a glamour event of any track and field competition. The sportsman combines the grace of gymnast with the strength of a bodybuilder. Both they have to practice. They keep their body fit and gymnastics they should do for doing the pole vault jump. Pole vaulting also has an element of flying, and the thought of flying as high as a two-storied building is a mere fantasy to anyone watching such an event. That day is not only Michael Stone's reality and dream, it is his quest. As long as Michael could remember, he had always dreamed of flying. It was his dream. Michael's mother read him numerous stories about flying when he was growing up. The inspiration for the Michael was his mother's stories. His mother was his inspiration, and stories told by her set him an impression so that he could achieve this. It was his dream. Her excitement and passion for detail made Michael's dream full of color and beauty. Here, her mother's role is very important in this, setting the son's dreams and achieving it. He could be running down a country road. He could feel the rocks and chunks of dirt at his feet. On the national Olympic competition, he's cool now, out of tension. Now he's remembering the running pole vault on the field while he was practicing wheat field, that he is making his memory back. As he raced down the golden lined wheat field, he would always outrun the locomotive passing by. Always the locomotive train passing by his field, he will always run faster than that train. Every day he could practice that. He would begin soaring like an eagle. Where he flew would always coincide with his mother's stories. When he jumped the pole vault, he feel like he is soaring like an eagle. He is flying high in the sky. His dad, on other hand, was not a dreamer. Bert Stone was his father, was a realist. He believed in hard work and sweat. This Olympic competition is out of his list. Who's the father's? This dream was came from inspiration came from his mother. From the age of 14, Michael did just that. From the age of 14, he started practicing that. He began a very careful and regimented weightlifting program. He worked out every day with the weights and did running work on alternate days. Because to fit the body to run, to jump that height, they should practice every day. This weightlifting and running he used to do to keep the body fit and slim. The program was closely monitored by the Michael's coach, trainer, and father. Michael's dedication, determination, and discipline was a coach's dream. Besides being an honor student, Michael continued to help his parents with their farm course. His persistence in striving for perfection was not only his obsession but also his passion. Milfred Stone, Michael's mother, wished that he could relax a bit more and be that free dreaming little boy. All Michael's old today seemed to be a reward of his hard work. From 14 years he is working. Today he won that silver medal. It was a reward for that hard work. Those many years hard work got a fruit today. He cleared the bar at 17 feet 2 inches and 17 feet 4 inches and became one of the final two competitors in the pole vaulting event at the National Junior Olympics. Constant preparation and determination were his strengths. As he lay on his back and heard the crowd groan, he knew the other vaulter had missed his final jump. He knew it was a time for his final jump. Since the other vaulter had fewer misses, Michael needed to clear his vault to win. A miss would get him second place, nothing to be ashamed of, but Michael would not allow himself the thought of not winning the first place. He rolled over and did his ritual push-ups. He found his pole, stood up, and stepped on the runway that led to the most challenging event of his 17-year-old life. The runway felt different this time. He startled him for a brief moment. He was in tension. And when you want to achieve something, this positive little tension will be there. It should be there. The bar was set at 9 inches higher than his personal best. Today it was a challenge for him. That's only 1 inch off the national record, he thought. The intensity of the moment filled his mind with anxiety. It happens. It began shaking off the tension from his body. It wasn't working. It is not working as he thought. He practiced so many years, even though because of the tension and anxiety, he is shaking. It became more tense. He began to get nervous. He had never experienced such a feelings before. Then, out of nowhere and from the deepest depth of his soul, he thought of his mother. His mother taught him everything. He told the stories about such things, and she was his inspiration. And that's how, to gain that inspiration back, he remembered his mother, thought of his mother. Now he regained his strength. Why now? What was his mother doing in his thoughts at time like this? Like this, what would his mother think of him? He worked so hard for so many years. It is the time to prove that. He should not lose because of the anxiety or tension or nervousness. It was simple. His mother always used to tell him to take a deep breath when he felt tensed, anxious, and even scared. Why his mother told like this? Whenever this moment of your the so-called dream come in front, that moment comes in front of your eyes, and you will get a chance to prove that this is common to get anxious and tense. It should be in positive way, but sometimes it crosses the limit and goes to the negative way. But you should control back at that time. This was told by his mother. So he did. Along with the shaking the tension from his legs, he gently laid his pole at his feet. He stretched out his arm and upper body. The light breeze that was once there was now gone. He could feel a trickle of cold sweat running down his back. He carefully picked up his pole. He felt his heart pounding. He was sure the crowd did too. The silence was deafening. When he heard the singing of some distant robins in flight, he knew it was his time to fly. As he began sprinting down the runway, something felt wonderfully different and familiar. The surface below him felt like the country road he used to dream about. This is in his imagination, he's feeling to ease his anxiety. Now he's feeling like he's thinking like I'm just running my native place where he used to run on the field side by when he was running morning in the practice. The rocks and chunks of dirt and the visions of the golden wheat fields seemed to fill his thoughts. When he took a deep breath, it happened. He began to fly. The starting of his dream of life started now. His takeoff was effortless. Successfully he take off without touching that pole rod, without touching this pole rod. They should cross that line using this pole. Michael Stone was now flying, just like in his childhood dreams, but this was real. Everything was moving in slow motion. The air around him was the purest and freshest he had ever sensed. Michael was soaring with the majesty of an eagle. It was either the eruption from the people in the stands or the thump of his landing that brought Michael back to earth. On his back, with the wonderful hot sun on his face, he could only imagine the smile on his mother's face and hear his dad's laughter. What he didn't know was that his dad was hugging his wife and crying harder than Milfred, his mother's name, had ever seen before, shedding tears of pride. His father never cried. He didn't see his father crying ever, but his father was so happy that the joy of tears came out of his eyes. So his father was very proud and happy, and he's expressing by hugging his wife and shedding the tears of pride. Michael was immediately swarmed by the people hugging and congratulating him on the greatest accomplishment of his life. He later went on to clear 17 feet 6.5 inches that day, the national and international junior Olympics record. With all the media attention and heartfelt congratulations, Michael's life would never be the same. Now he is famous now. His life in a fraction of a second, his life changed. He's not a common man now. He is a famous athlete now. It wasn't just because he had won the National Junior Olympics and set a new world record. One more reason is there for this is, and it was because he had just increased his personal best by 9.5 inches. It was simply because Michael Stone was a blind. See, it is a surprise in this story. He was a blind. Being blind, he is achieving so much. You have all your or children, you have all your organs well given by the blessed by the God. You can achieve more than this. This is an inspiration story for you. He win over his blindness. You have all the organs fit and fine. You have a good parents, loving parents, and good environment to study. All the facilities you have to achieve something in your life, achieve your dream, and be successful and be happy with your family. Like, please like, share, subscribe, comment, and save the playlist. Thank you very much. Bye bye.